you. Thank you all for being here. So I'm a scientist and a naturalized citizen of the United States. I came here as a student over 50 years ago, and I've stayed ever since because when I came here, this was the best place in the world to do science. I was at Harvard for many years. And I received the Nobel Prize in 2009 for a work that helped us understand cancer and aging. A few years ago, I moved to the University of Chicago, which is a great place. I love working there because I get to work with amazing young people who are doing incredible, exciting science. My lab works on the origin of life, how life got started on the early Earth. And believe me, I would much rather be telling you about the exciting work that my students are doing, but instead, I have to be here today because science and democracy are under attack in our country. So truth, knowledge, understanding are constantly derided by the Trump administration and his acolytes as hoaxes and radical woke left conspiracies. Okay? Across the land, American universities are centers of learning, of critical thinking, and of investigation and debate are under attack. And I'm here because, like so many other American scientists, I'm appalled by the attacks on science and democracy in our country. Now, Stand Up for Science has done an incredible job at mobilizing public opinion and helping to persuade Congress to reverse some of the funding cuts that were initiated by the administration. Not to mention the arbitrary firing of thousands of scientists at the NIH, the NSF, the EPA, NASA, FEMA, NOAA. But the fight is not over, right? The administration continues to attack science on multiple fronts. The dismantling of the CDC and the FDA, the core of public health in this country, is a rolling disaster. The anti-vaccine statements and policies of RFK Jr. have already led to deaths that could have been prevented if people had, taken safe and effective vaccines. So as the former chair of the Scientific Advisory Board of Moderna, I had an inside view into the development of the COVID mRNA vaccine. The mRNA vaccines, I think, were one of the incredible breakthroughs of modern biomedical science. And now, companies like Moderna, Pfizer, BioNTech, and actually many new smaller companies are developing new mRNA vaccines for the new variants of COVID, for flu, for whooping cough, for many other infectious diseases, and also for cancer. But these mRNA vaccines are constantly derided. They're constantly under attack. Their testing and distribution are being blocked. It's a travesty. Even worse in the long run, I think, are Trump's efforts to basically repeal and dismantle every aspect of environmental protection in this country. So we all know that authoritarian and fascist regimes entrench their power by hiding evidence, right? They dilute the truth with a flood of lies. And we see this in the administration's shutdown of public databases, of information on climate science, on the environment, on biomedical testing. We see the results of climate change every day in the wildfires, the floods, the droughts, right? But they want to hide the evidence from this and hide the data behind the science from us. Right? It's not enough for them to destroy climate science and the renewable energy industry. They want to hide what they're doing from us. Okay. And finally, I want to say all this anti-science activity is not happening in a vacuum. Right? It's happening in the context of the violent repression of peaceful protests around the country. We've had innocent people shot on the streets of Chicago, murdered in Minneapolis, right, by heavily armed, masked agents of the federal government. Students at my university have been harassed and traumatized by these so-called ICE agents. Now, the USA became the capital of science in the world by bringing the best and the brightest here from around the whole planet. And now, students are afraid to come here. The most brilliant people don't want to come to the United States anymore. And meanwhile, China, which is also itself an authoritarian country, is pouring money into science because they know that the science of today is the industry of tomorrow. So, I'm grateful to Stand Up to Science for their fight against the anti-science and anti-democracy actions of the administration. And to save our country, we have to vote these MAGA people out of power. So please help Stand Up for Science accomplish that goal. Thank you.